So my name is Sam Polsky, and I founded my own training consulting firm back in the year 2000, and I've been running that ever since. I'm CEO and chairman of the board and wear all the different hats all the way through. And yeah, that's what brings me here. Sure. So when I think about the certifications and the education I have that have kind of led me down this path, there's a couple interesting things. It's not really a direct tie. I didn't go to school for computer science, but here I am teaching IT. My actual degree was in public policy studies and markets and management, and that got me into the entrepreneurship side. The IT was more of a passion, the inner geek in me fighting its way out. And so that led me down the path of wanting to explore and learn about technology. So most of what I know over the last 20 years has been self-taught, where I'd go in and I'd just start playing with the technology until I understood it. I'd break it and break it again and break it again until I really knew all of its ins and outs. And the teaching came out of, as we were playing with these things and working with companies and consulting and things like that, their people needed to understand how to manage the environment in the real world. And so we were able to bring our past experiences, the things that we had set up, the proof of concepts that we had done, and talk them through how to meaningfully use technology within their environment. And that kind of led us down this idea of, how do you actually train and become a part of that infrastructure? Sure. When I think about the different clients and companies that I've worked with over the years, every one of them has their own story. So every company has something that they're trying to achieve, and the training just bridges those gaps. So when we start thinking about some of the customers, the big one that we do a lot of work with here with ASPE is Fidelity. And Fidelity is an investment firm. They're deep in the investment banking world and the trading and managing customers. But what they found, their niche that they decided was they wanted to be the technologists of the financial area. So then they needed to become specialists, not just in the technology, but how it applies to that industry. I think that's what we really bring to the table. Each customer teaches us about how the technology is being used in their space, and we can then bring those learning experiences to other customers, whether it's Fidelity and their finance and bringing that into insurance over at a MetLife or something like that, or working at GE and understanding how they're doing massive product rollouts across the globe, both physical products and software products. Or are we looking at dealing with a university and the entire microculture of, say, UNC or NC State, and how do they deal with the professors and the external vendors that are selling chemicals, and how do they manage interactions with then the students and their safety within those environments? And you can take all those lessons and say, okay, well, which pieces of this apply in the next space? And the beauty is, the more you do this, the more you see those overlaps, and the easier it is to answer the next question for the next client. When I'm trying to help students understand a topic, the first thing you have to realize is that there is no one way to teach. And really, even more than that, there is no one way to learn. So every student is going to have their sweet spot of things that make them comfortable. And so it's really important to work with the students within the room and understand different ways of presenting to each of them. So when you're putting the topics out there, you're rotating through a series of tools in your toolbox to make sure that you catch when that light bulb goes on for the vast majority of the room. Okay, that's resonating with them, and we'll go back to that style and that technique throughout the rest of the experience. It's all about being a problem solver, being flexible. You can't assume that one size fits all. You have to go in and adapt.